Welcome, everyone. This is the Oola Spotlight, where we take one aspect of Oola, shine a spotlight on it, dissect it a little bit, and make it super practical for your everyday life. My name is Joel Hassenritter. I'm an Oola life coach, and I help people struggling through times of transition, which is something I know a little bit about, to design balance back in their life so they can grow toward their purpose, crush the next chapter of their life, and win with their finances. Today, I want to talk about the hot topic of the time period right now, which is New Year's resolutions. A lot of people go through this process where they think, man, I wish I had done this in the last year, and think I'm gonna do this in the next year. This year is gonna be my year. I get this thing done. I want to give you 5 reasons why 92% of the time that never works. So most of the time we set these New Year's resolutions, we have no structure around it. We don't review them daily, and it becomes a wish list. And a wish list is just an idea. It's a concept. It's something that you want to do, but don't have a structure around it. So I want to give you 5 reasons why they don't work. I want to give you a structure around it. And then I have a life planner. It's a 20-page guide that in each of the 7 key areas of life will help you to dissect this so that as you move forward into 2022, you can do that in a tangible way and actually get your goals accomplished. So reason number 1, why wish lists, if you will, or goals typically fail, and that is that they're not written down. So many times it's just this concept that we have out there, but we don't actually write it down, get it from brain to pen to paper. Number 2, they're not written properly. So if you don't have a structure around how to write a goal properly, then it's going to be really, really difficult to get it done. Number 3, they're not reviewed daily. If something that you want to actually accomplish, something that you really want to move your life forward, but you're not focusing on it daily, it's going to be something that gets pushed by the wayside. It's going to be something that gets forgotten, quite frankly. And that's one of the reasons why former New Year's resolutions have not worked. Number 4, you run into a blocker. And many times you can run into a blocker before you even start pursuing that goal. Many times it's in the process. And a lot of times it's right before you achieve that goal. It's just right when you're almost at the edge of going over the peak, if you will. And the blockers come in. Could be fear, self-sabotage, laziness, guilt sometimes. And those things come in and they can really stop us from moving forward. Number 5, it's somebody else's goal. So sometimes we have things people have said over us. It could have been a parent when we were younger. Oh, you should be a doctor. You should be a lawyer. You should be a musician. It could be something that a friend or colleague said to you that really put a burden on you. You know, why are you in this job? Why are you doing this thing? You know what you should be doing with your life is you should be doing this, this, and this. And a lot of times we take that on and we set that as our goal, as how we're going to move our life forward, when it's not actually something that we want to accomplish, inherent in us. So those are the 5 reasons why, again, 92% of the time, New Year's resolutions do not work. They're not written down. They're not written properly. They're not reviewed daily. We run into these blockers, and it's not actually our goal. It's somebody else's goal. So let's talk about a format and a structure around how to set goals properly. So in 1981, George Duran came out with the SMART goal format, the SMART goal structure. We modify that just a little bit in Oola, but it's really a great way to tangibly put a format and a structure around your goal so that you can actually know if you're moving toward it or away from it. So these are called SMART goals. And number 1, the S in SMART is for specific. The M is for measurable. The A is for accountable. The R is for realistic. And the T is it based and linked to time? So specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and linked to time. Let's break that down just a little bit. So specific, it's self-explanatory, but honestly, most people don't write a specific goal. I want to be fit is not a tangible specific goal. I want to lose weight is not a tangible specific goal. I want to run a marathon. A marathon is a very specific, measurable amount of length of a run. And that is something that's very specific. Number 2, is it measurable? if you cannot measure it, you're not going to be able to track your progress. And it's so important to have these daily wins, so that even if your goal is a year out from now, it could be 6 months out from now, but a year out from now, you're going to need these little wins to keep you going along the way. And the way that you know that you're having those little wins is by measuring your success. Number 3, accountable. This is so important to have a group of friends. Could be an inner circle, could be a mastermind group, could be a colleague, but have a group around you that can do one of two things, and they'll be doing both, hopefully, at different times. Number 1 is to pick you up when you feel like you're just getting kicked, like you're down, you've stumbled, you haven't been able to do what you wanted to do, and you're just feeling super bad about it. And it's them being there, having a hand out for you, saying, hey, I got you. I'm behind you. Take my hand. Let's step back up. Let's take another step. So that's one thing that a group of friends holding you accountable will do. The second thing, honestly, is to kick you in the butt a little bit and say, hey, we talked about this thing you wanted to do. You're sitting on the couch watching Netflix reruns, and it's a beautiful day outside. You're not going to be able to run that marathon anytime soon unless you actually get up and put some work in. So it might give you a hand up, might give you a little kick in the butt, and both are going to be important along your way. Number 3, is it realistic? So let's take the running a marathon example. Is it realistic to run a marathon a month from now if you've never trained running before? Maybe that's not been a thing in your past. Maybe haven't been into athletics much. So probably that's not the most realistic goal. You can take a look and see what others have accomplished. That shouldn't hold you back from pushing more, right? Stretching yourself more, even beyond what others have accomplished. But let's just look at kind of what's realistic in this aspect of setting this goal. And then, of course, is it measurable to time? So if running a marathon is what you really want to do, and you don't have a time frame that you want to get that done in, you're not going to be able to backpedal to what you need to do right now. So if you can't measure that aspect of it, you can't put a time block around it, it's going to be something that gets just pushed by the wayside. It'll be something that, oh gosh, I couldn't do anything toward that goal today because today was just too busy. Today got away from me, so to speak. And putting a time block around it is going to give you some incentive to say, you know what, today I need to do this thing so that I can get that thing done a month from now, 6 months from now, 90 days from now, a year from now, whatever the case may be. So in summary, goal setting really isn't and should never be an end of year thing that you say, oh man, I really wish I had done that back then. Really wish I'd done that last year. I'm going to crush it this year. And then you go and join a gym 5 days a week, working 3 times a day, and it's not sustainable. Goal setting is a lifestyle. It's a habitual lifestyle that you take action on every single day. When I coach people through this in Oola, we talk about reviewing your goals nightly. And we have 7 key areas of life that we set goals in. That's fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun. And you'll find that something you want to accomplish, or perhaps something that you wish you had, is going to fall into one of those categories. We talk about reviewing your goals nightly and then setting 3 action steps you can take tomorrow to move you toward one or more of those goals. And think about this, 3 action steps a day. No one does it perfectly, but 3 action steps a day is over 1,000 steps in a year. And when was the last time, friend, you took 1,000 steps toward a life that you want to live, toward a goal you wanted to achieve? But it takes having it written down properly, measurable, specific, accountable. You can have somebody you can count on to say, hey, I'm struggling in this area. Can you help me out? And link to time, review it nightly, and decide 3 action steps you're going to take tomorrow to actually accomplish that goal. So I have a kind of a life planner guide, if you will. It's a 20-page guide. It walks you through who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have in each of the 7 key areas of life that we just talked about. If you want that guide, it's free. It's on my website. There's a landing page for it. So you can just click on the link below, go and register for that, and download that as you will. But hopefully that'll give you some structure around how to do this well. And as you're reviewing those goals, just remember put them in that SMART format. And that way you'll know that you're actually accomplishing and moving toward a life you design, not one you're living by default. This has been the Oola Spotlight. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.